the bears deers.
Or carrots.
It makes them enraged. It makes them crazy. All right, it makes them feral bears. They'll be up in your grill in no time.
No, we talked to Envy already before this game. They already know how to deal with like a terrible loss.
Yes, all according to
no.
Kentucky.
He said the team can deal with it. You know what I mean? but this was like pretty tough for Envy, I'd say. This game was like, oh god, you know what I mean? Like it was constant.
Why
deaths.
is this so much different from the first game then?
Because it was mostly like him dying, right?
Yeah, but
it wasn't so much a draft thing. It was more just like, well, it kind of was a draft thing because you had to send the alchemist top.
If anybody can deal with losing, it's Envy.
I think he can move on from it.
Absolutely.
But it has to be difficult.
Trust, they're going to win it. I know we didn't do predictions. They're going to win. MP's got it. Trust me. Where are you guys going with this, by the way?
NP obviously didn't perform very well. But we're talking about how MP messed up and how they could have done better, but Liquid did very well.
Yeah.
They anticipated their lane. Surely, Miracle got out of hand, and the rest of their plan wasn't really able to come to fruition anyway.
Forcing the alchemist to the safe lane as well. That was actually the biggest part of it, I think.
Yeah.
Like forcing Aoi to play a hero that he hasn't played in the pro game in a long time, completely out of your comfort zone. Because well, safe lane alchemist isn't really that strong. You want a lot of levels. You want to be able to get control of the runes.
Yep.
So,
what do you take away from the game if you're Liquid?
I don't know. We won.
There was
we talked to Boba and they said, you know, we look at the games regardless if we won or lost and we talk them through. And was it him that said that? Surely they would do also look at the games when they lost, when they won rather.
Just like and say what, like
say how they can improve.
You're asking me to tell them how to improve on that 12-minute stomp.
Yeah. Could have been a 10-minute stomp.
We could have got it. We could have shortened that down a bit.
They took an unnecessary Roshan.
Yeah, we were talking about
why even take the Roche? You're right, Sheever.
Yeah, they could have done better.
Unnecessary Roche. Too many win laces.
So what you're saying, out of this win just now, NP got a lot more information and a lot more things to learn from than Team Liquid.
Saying.
Yeah.
So overall, net worth for Team MP.
That's why he exits out of game so quick.
That's what I mean.
Net worth is this.
Net worth.
Something else.
That's why he instantly GGs when he's losing. He can't afford to let them get any more information. So he's just out.
Genius.
10 minutes.
God.
We're out of here. Next. It's genius, dude.
Oh my
what do you make of the choosing Radiant if you're Team Liquid? They're the first team to choose Radiant.
Well, it's still new patch. People still feeling it out. Maybe Liquid practiced Radiant a lot in scrims, and the Radiant jungle is kind of...
It makes it easier for the mid laner to farm?
Yeah, it does. The mid lane is a bit safer. It's harder to gank through the jungle.
Could it also mean that they try to go for short games? Like intentionally, because they don't care about the Roshan advantage that the Dire team has?
Potentially.
Potentially.
That's a cool comment. I like that.
Well, surely if you want short games, you'd pick Dire because you want Roshan to end the game faster because...
Well, the Roshan advantage really only comes into play at around the 30-minute mark because at the start of the game... No, because if you're Radiant side, your laning stage is going... Generally, this is not hard science, by the way, generally better than the Dire side. So you come out ahead of the laning stage, which means you have the first Roshan advantage. You can actually take the first Roshan easier than the Dire team can because you are ahead after the laning stage.
Get schooled, Shane, you fucking idiot.
Based on not science.
What was that? That was science, dummy. You just got scientifically wrecked. Anyway, hey, look, it's the exact same draft from Team Liquid.
Sorry, Shane.
Maybe you were right. Maybe you're right. Maybe me and Shane were right. They literally didn't learn anything except let's do that again.
Except we picked Naga.
Yeah.
No,
because they wanted Naga, remember?
Yeah,
and then they got banned, and then they got stolen
in the last
from
game,
them.
Liquid picked it up for support.
What did I tell you? Exactly the same thing. They lose the first game, then they pick Naga, they win the second game.
Okay.
It's the plan, guys. Naga, please. That's it. We won.
Naga, please.
Come on, my boys. Anyway, so they got the illusion strat all ready to go. Your Team Liquid, you got plenty of time to react to the Naga Siren. We talked about this last time. What's your top picks for getting rid of a Naga, Shane?
I think similar to the last game, you want to just create early game aggression and push. Like, get towers, remove her map control. Because the thing that Naga does is, especially if you're behind and you're pushed back into your base, she just takes all the farm. And the rest of the team are just... You know, whatever, they're useless. They don't have any items, they don't have anything.
True that.
And then maybe focus on a hero. Like Beastmaster's already a good start. You can find the Naga with a smoke and then just win off that. Like you have to shut down the rest of the team and then Naga takes everything basically. So remove map control, good lanes. And don't let her like completely free farm as well.
All right, so we got another ban coming out from Liquid. Their strategy here hasn't really been revealed yet, right, Cheever? I mean, they haven't shown us too much.
No, they just opened the same way as they did last time, and we didn't even see that part of their plan really work for them because they didn't need to do anything because Ursa was just all over the place already winning the game for them.
True. The Miracle Special, right?
The Miracle Special.
1v9.
It's kind of an unusual hero for Miracle as well, really. Like, it doesn't really farm. It's kind of very aggressive early
Very
game.
fighty.
Yeah, it's a fighty hero. It's good to see like change in this playstyle.
Yeah. Well, that's new Miracle for him.
Yeah, it's good.
He's changing it all around. No longer is he the conserved, playmaker. Now he's just the right clicker. I said, Miracle, no more flashy stuff, all right? Just kill shit, please.
Just run at them with a
please
bear,
just kill things.
I thought his Ursa was pretty flashy though, with killing things. He could do both.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you. Well, everyone's right on DreamLeague, all right? We're all about unity
This is how
here.
that works.
Great flow.
Friendship wins.
Friendship always wins. Hey, there's 1437, man. Look at that. Is he going to be playing the Shadow Demon? It is one of his favorites.
I think definitely. Yeah.
I would say so. Oh, a new hero enters the fray.
Shadow Shaman? I love Shadow Shaman. He's
me
one of my
too.
most played. I love that hero.
I've already had him as my daily hero like 3 times. It's very annoying.
Why
That's
don't
great.
you play that shit?
Oh, I play it. I just lose with it.
Give us some tips.
I think the strength of Shadow Shaman, right?
Yeah.
You can just push. Your wards do so much damage. Like, what other support hero does insane damage? You can, even in team fights, you can block off a region of a team fight.
Yep.
It just creates this, it's kind of like Undying, creates this like mass thing that you just need to kill or worry about.
They're so squishy.
Yeah, take two clicks.
2 hits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on every single one of them.
Yeah, but you got illusions, you got everything.
Or you in the middle of a team fight? Are you meant to click the wards? Like, it's very difficult.
I don't
You
know.
can song and maybe try and
He
kill
just
them.
has a lot of utility. I like to think of him as a very versatile, like, call me crazy, but a versatile, like, brood mother.
Okay.
He puts pressure on a tower, no one else can, they have to respond to it or they lose it, and then you have to go do stuff.
The problem is
Yeah.
aggression. He's like, you want to shackle someone, you have to stand there. You're this weak,
Yeah.
squishy guy. You have an Undying running at you,
Yeah.
decaying you, like zombies everywhere.
Zombies
It's a
building up.
disaster for
But-
Shadow Shaman.
I
And the
don't
It
know.
range
does
of the
not
hex.
deal well with aggression.
Snake,
at all.
yeah, but snakes can take out a dying tombstone pretty quick.
Can they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, they just rattle on that thing and nothing's stopping them from
Yeah, but
doing it.
okay, I'm talking about like, you still have to get to the
That
snake
is true.
thing.
That is true.
You get early game, level 2, level 3, Undying is just going to walk all over them. But
Unless-
Juggernaut's good though.
Yeah, they have to find someone who's going to try to run away from Juggernaut, then grab him or hex him or shackle him, whatever, and then he's good. But
Yeah.
you have to be running away from the Shadow Shaman for him to be really good, I think. Because if you're going to go aggressive, like you said, he just
falls
dies
over.
really
Yeah,
fast.
he just literally falls over.
But I mean, Juggernaut and Shadow Shaman is kind of a classic laning combo. I mean, a shackle into the spin. I mean, there's very little heroes that can survive that, and from what they have so far, not too good looking on that. Undying is really the only person that can walk away from that right now.
They can disrupt to save, though.
They can. I think even going offensive for MP will be pretty good.
Yeah.
Usually you don't want to go into Juggernaut. He's a very strong early game hero. He has magic resistance and damage. It's difficult to fight into. But with Undying and Shadow Shaman as Juggernaut's partner, I think it's pretty good. Like, Shadow Demon's a good save for someone who gets spun on as well.
Yeah.
The nerf to Oracle's right click damage was pretty significant in the early game. Like, it's harder for him to rasp people.
Well, so far, it looks like we're in an all-in strat, but what's
Is
up?
this the Lone Druid game
Oh!
for Team Liquid?
Oh, my.
Ooh, why would you say that?
Yeah, it's really good with Beastmaster or Juggernaut Healing Ward is good with it. Oracle can sustain the bear, they can push with it. Could be pretty strong.
Shane, if you get this right, I'm retracting my Shiver Scientific burn, and I'm going for a Dota burn.
Alright.
Take her out, Shane. It's got to be
What?
show me the bear. What?
What?
Show me the bear.
Why me?
You're getting it taken away, Shiver.
No.
Your ultimate burn is being put out with the liquid bear.
No.
You can't just say no.
No.
All right. Anyway, Shiver, you can save it. Team MP, last pick.
Go.
Oh, shit. No, I don't know. No,
Come on, Shiver.
Looking
It depends
for,
what do you think that Undying is going to do. Is it going
It's going to be offensive, I
Yeah.
think. They need their mid lane.
Yeah, but a number 4 Undying.
We're looking for an MV hero, right?
Yeah.
MV hero, mid lane.
We've seen so many
Space
envy
Creator.
heroes
You could go
fail.
with Quap again. It'll be good.
He could go with Quap.
Yeah, it's a lot of burst damage for it goes through the Juggernaut spin. Goes for Morana. the song into the arrow is really good to
I could have just said I like Mirana. That would have been right.
Hey,
I like Mirana.
I like Mirana.
We all know you like Mirana.
I like Mirana, guys. That's the only thing I can say. I would have been right though, but yeah.
Sorry. All right, show me Lone Druid. Come on, is he still good with the Mirana pick?
Wait, is Huskar banned?
No.
5 seconds
All right,
remaining.
well that's good too.
Yeah, they still
that's
got they got the Oracle with it as well.
Yeah. Either
There's a Dragon Knight.
Oh!
it's kind of similar.
See, that's
you
why I
push.
don't like to make predictions. I'm wrong a lot.
Well, it's a strength-based hero. The healing ward does the same thing. You can still group up and push with it. It's similar to Lone Druid. It's not the same hero, but it does the same kind of job, you know.
Dragon Knight scares me though. If he doesn't get that push early game, if he's not kind of balling with that level 6 ult and taking a tower and stuff,
Yeah.
it's not good. I mean, people can come back from that pretty easy. He's kind of I have to win early or I have to win super late.
So who's going to win it? Is the Naga Siren going to be stopped this
Super
time?
wrong?
I don't think Liquid are going to give them enough time. I think the Dragon Knight and the Juggernaut are going to do well, and they're going to push.
You
Liquid?
say NP. Oh, no, you say Liquid. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Liquid? I'm assuming Liquid, right?
I'm assuming Liquid. I'm going to do Liquid. Liquid.
MP, dude, the plan is in action. The information has been gathered, and the knives
No,
are
put
coming
me
out.
on the other team.
No, you're coming
No.
with me. You
No,
want me on
you're
MP.
coming down with me.
You're coming down with me.
I am on the Liquid side.
No, you're not.
Shane's also on the Liquid side. There you go.
Oh, great.
There we go.
And Shane doesn't exist. Thanks for
I don't
watching.
get a vote.
Shane also said Team Liquid, but it is time to hear from our commentators and hear whose side they're on for this last game of the day. It is Team Liquid versus NP with Odie Pixel and Gods.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for the last game of the day here at the ASSRG Dream League. I'm Odie Pixel. I'm here with Gods, and we're ready to take you through once more. A bit of action between NP and Liquid. The drafts have come through. NP, after a bit of a severe beating in game 1 of this series, have done what they did earlier. They said, right, we'll do an Argus strat. That's exactly what's come out. But Liquid certainly seems like they've got a bit of a better answer for it than Imperial did, because Liquid are going all in on the push. DK, Shaman, Beastmaster, Jug, towers are going to fall.
We kind of remember talking about at the end of the game 2 of the first series, like, oh, Liquid going to get Naga Sirened as well. Like, are they going to be better prepared for it? And I feel like just seeing the draft, it feels like they've got a better plan.
Absolutely.
They're going to be pushing, they're going to be taking towers, they're going to be playing fast-paced Dota. Even if it does scale kind of to the late game, like, I still feel they've got a solid draft. DK can scale well, Jug can scale well. They've got the Beastmaster for pickoffs. They've got a lot of lockdown with Shadow Shaman. So I like their draft as a whole. I think MV's had a bit of a tough series and just a tough day, like just individual play-wise. There's been a lot of pressure on him. So if Liquid can shut him down again, I think we're going to see a lot of pressure on AUI to kind of do it all himself in the Naga. He did it once. Can he do it again? I'm definitely skeptical. But hey, worked once. According to Slacks, this is all according to the NP plan. Or according to Kotaku or whatever it is.
Kotaku? I think it's Kikaku.
Kokora? I don't.
Kaku?
I don't watch anime.
I don't watch anime. Only Western cartoons for me. No. Anime's fine. It's for certain. I don't know. Anime-like people, isn't it?
Yeah.
NB
lives a very anime life.
Be my guest.
We live very standard.
And it's fueled envy to get to this stage.
Yeah.
You know, he's done it. And it's all because of anime. He wouldn't be here without anime envy, wouldn't he?
At least he wouldn't be the envy we know.
He would not.
He'd be a very different human being.
But here we have it. Liquid versus MP. And let's see how this goes down. Kuroki about to take an arrow to the backside. He'll say, I'll walk into that one for you boys and girls, and I'll give you first blood by the looks of it. MP close around. The pings come out. Kuroki ping-ponging himself there. Whew. He was, well, first blood. MP, that's exactly what he needs. And, well, in fact, Rose going in very deep. Maybe seeing if he can set something else up there. It's not going to happen as he walks off. But yeah, Envy getting first blood. That's what he needs to have a good start in the mid lane. The question is he going to have a good start in the mid lane? He's going to be up against Miracle again. And it's going to be the matchup, of course, DK versus Mirana. What do you expect to see from that?
It's a pretty bland matchup, I guess. Not going to see too much action. Nothing too spicy. Depending, I guess, on the rotations. But DK is one of those mid heroes that's probably one of the most boring mid heroes to watch in lane. just because he just sits back, he breathes fire, farms creeps with that, has Dragon Blood for regen, so he doesn't mind getting harassed by these ranged heroes. He's used to be picked a lot against Puck. First thing round is kind of a similar story where you just sit back, breathe fire, you last hit, it makes it harder for your opponent to last hit, and it's just overall very annoying.
Let's see how this plays off.
Taking the high ground. He's going to go sniper neutral. Interesting. Maximizing that XP gain.
Yeah, it looked like he missed the neutral there. That would have been a... But he didn't. He didn't. He knew it. He knew the hitbox. He got the ball by its nose.
Yep. That's kind of cool. Cool little play to give him a bit of a boost in this mid lane. I was seeing him like position very aggressive on the high ground. I was like, I don't know what he's doing here because he doesn't really want to harass the DK, but evidently wanting to put himself in position to farm a bit of extra creeps here. Looking at some of our the lanes. Bottom lane will be a aggressive lane from NP. They are bringing Shadow Demon as well as Undying down here to help the Naga Siren farm in the off lane.
And do you expect this to be able to shut down the Timberman's farm quite a bit, or will Liquid be alright to deal with this with the supports they've got behind the Jug?
They've got strong supports themselves. Yep. Shadow Shaman, Oracle, 2 ranged supports, but 2 squishy supports, and that's where Undying is going to be the bothersome hero to deal with.
Ooh. Up top! I mean, that's 6 stacks. This man's dead, man. That's for
Trying
sure.
To bring MSS with him, and he will do so. He'll succeed.
But I mean,
he will get credited the kill, which means that gold is evenly distributed.
The battle will take, and again, the solo XP and such, killing off the beast first. Back towards mid lane. Miracle and Envy battling out. 6 for 3 on Envy, 4 for 4 on Miracle. Certainly got closer than it was here in the first game. Oh, Envy, you better leap away, son. Quick breathe fire from Miracle, keeping Envy on his toes. Envy still holding on to a salve. Bottle's now out, so Envy, looking to do a lot better in the mid lane here in game 2, as opposed to the bit of a mess of a matchup that was in game 1.
Yeah, it should be a whole lot easier for him. He's, again, going to continue throwing arrows around, getting some extra neutrals while he farms the mid lane as well, and definitely a much better start for him. But even on CS with the DK, that's kind of the expected outcome, at least in my mind, for this matchup. Now, the bottom lane is kind of where things are juicy. Envy, AUI outlast hitting the Jug by at least a decent margin so far. That's something which I think should still say the same. They're doing a really good job with the side pull here, denying farm as well as XP from Liquid. It's not as bad as it used to be with at least some XP gain from the neutral denies, but this is also... Oh, okay, there we go. Hadouken's coming out, favoring NP, hitting the Juggernaut with that. But it's been a pretty evenly played matchup here at bottom, despite the Jug getting slightly outfarmed.
Well, Kuroki looking to lead in. Dave kicks him off. He'll go for the shackles on to run. The Timberman follows through with a play here, but Kuroki's actually going to be the one to fall down here. Yeah, a little bit of an awkward attempt of an initiation there, really, from the Shaman. I mean, it always feels like a Shaman in a try versus try lane situation, it's hard for him to do much. Sure.
Yeah. He needs to be playing more defensively. He just ran in, was like in the middle of a creep wave. He recognizes that if they want to go aggressive, SD's the hero to kill. He's squishy. He also has the disable, so you take out the disruption if you're shackling him. But his teammates were not in position to follow that up, and he put himself in a guarantee. He was going to die there 100%. There was no way he was going to live there. It was more whether he could get the kill, but they weren't even close to getting that kill. So
very, very awkward play there from Kuro.
Miscommunication perhaps coming out from the Liquid camp, but not the end of the world. Not a kill that's going to completely ruin this bottom lane for them. Matu's actually going aggressive. He hit a crit onto SVG at bottom.
See if he gets away with the kill. Well, it looks like without Bobber, they should do. Yeah, SVG going to be nuked down there by the Purifying Flames. Liquid will this time around be able to find that kill with the play of the tri lane. Starving the Timberman up as well. Rose. Looks like he's just holding on to that regen rune, allowing Envy to head down and fill his bottle up. But Kuro, he's going to want to do something about that. He's headed over. Rose immediately responding with the disruption. Kuroki and Bob will turn towards the Shadow Demon. My goodness, so many shadows in this game. They won't get it. Shadow Shaman's going to be the one to fall. So MP 4 for 2 at the moment, certainly finding the kills, and it seems at the moment just the kind of the support outplay really at the moment on this bottom lane from MP.
Yeah, NP's supports are just doing a lot better than Liquid so far. Kuro's played a bit too aggressive on his hero. We've seen NP movement. The side pulls from SVG as well as just the rotations from Rose have just been a small notch above what we've seen out of Liquid supports. It really has been the difference maker. As well as some nice plays from the Bat Rider to get the earlier kill.
Mid lane. Miracle still keeping the lead here against Envy. 27 for 9 on the DK. 21 for 4.
He's going to pop the ultimate just to chip at the tower.
Pressure on.
Yep. was curious to see if this comes out, but always, I think this is always good DK play. You push out the lane, you just pop the ultimate. Each right click does a decent chunk of damage. It's like 100 damage bonus plus your initial base damage onto the tower because of the corrosive, so looking to force a rotation or force some kind of play from NP to try and defend this mid-tier 1 tower, or at least prevent it from taking like probably heavy damage.
Rose and SVG on the sidelines, but at the same time, Liquid with both supports at the ready if the fight kicks off, and Rosie's going to look to try and do that. Disruption to the arrow, but here's the response. Kuroki trying to come in and help out, has to shackle on Zevi to hold him back, allowing Miracle to escape. Naft coming in with a TP reaction. Miracle will be fine, Kuroki not so much. So again, Liquid trying to pull off the plays here with a support combo, but MP reacting, able to find the kill, and stopping Liquid from getting away with any funky business in the mid lane.
Yeah. That death from Kuro a bit harder to avoid. He was just trying to save the DK, so he had to kind of run in and just commit his spells to help cover the DK's retreat, so don't mind that too much. Top lane will see some more aggression coming out. Will be the lasso. Not much mana. Okay, he has Arcane Boots now, so that'll possibly get not enough for the kill.
And in fact, they're going to turn around to Raw. And into Miracle coming forward as well. And with a Breathe Fire, they'll bring down the bat. Bit of fire-on-fire action, and Liquid burning a little bit brighter here on the top lane. As they do get the kill, and they'll turn this into the push. Now starting to group up as 4. Leaving Matuma Man on his own down on the bottom lane to continue farming up on the Jug. He's relatively safe at the moment. No one from MP down here contesting him. Phase boot's complete as well. And in fact, MP, they are going to send the Undying up towards the top lane, so maybe seeing if they can try and hold on to this tier 1 for a little bit longer and contest Liquid's push.
Liquid not hesitating to make the moves here. The TP will be cancelled, and Undying shows himself he is done for. This next TP will take a long time to come there through.
SVG actually making them work for it. And yeah, he's not going to get out. He will go down. Kuroki again being the one to just kind of take the return fire here from MP, and he'll run himself away, gets taken down by the creeps. So Liquid getting a 1-for-1 trade here. But at the end of the day, is MP holding on to that tower up top? Matuma Man is allowed the space, though, to get a lot of damage done down bottom. And in fact, with the TPs up to the top lane, there's going to be no response to this. And Liquid do end up getting a tier 1 tower there from that play, but maybe not the one they initially planned for.
No, it's not the one they planned for, but in some ways it kind of works out better. Yeah. Their carry gets a tower by himself as well as a free farm lane. If anything, on paper, that's like a better result for them. They do at least some chip damage to both the mid-tier 1 and the top-tier 1. Nothing that substantial, but all in all, it's still looking like a decent pace coming out from Liquid here as far as their ability to take objectives, push towers. It's pretty even still early on, but you got to imagine once Liquid get like the level 6 Shadow Shaman, they can start using some of their smokes here to find pickups with Raw. The towers will start falling very quickly.
And they're looking to make a smoke action here happen with Liquid. They have Omni Slash. You know, if Boba can get a Fortune Send or such to set up for Matuma Man to move in, get the Omni off, they're going to have a very good chance of getting a kill. And Nacht, he's going to be spotted by that ward. It's a little hard for them to get a wrap around onto this bat unless Matuma Man can just jump straight in, and okay, he can indeed. Immediately in, bringing down the Bat Rider. Nacht to hit the deck for the time being. And Matuma Man continuing to find positive action across the map, getting towers, getting kills.
Thanks.
It's again, it's looking a lot closer though compared to game 1. MP themselves have their strengths. Envy could be in trouble though. Mind Control has a roar, actually holding on to it now. He will let it go. Envy's already jumped back, but Liquid, they're ready to dive. They'll take down one. Envy out, and Liquid with the illusion room ready to try and push in. But MP, they have Aoi coming in with the song. MP want to try and turn and fight this. They'll be doing this without the Mirana. It may just work out though, as they bring Bulba down. Miracle and Matuma Man will have to back up, low on mana, relatively low on health. They are healing up under the healing wall.
Yeah, Bulba was just in too deep there. Kuro's kind of solo pushing a bit bottom, doing a bit of damage, but again, it's MP delaying all these pushes, doing a decent job, at least slowing down the towers falling. But we're still just 9.5 minutes in, and we're looking at like the tier 1s. As much as like they've only lost one of the 3 tier 1s, it feels like they're just like on the knife's edge as far as losing all 3. All it's going to take is one small slip up, and suddenly 3-4 towers are going to fall on the MP side. So they've got to keep up this very flawless defense of theirs.
I mean, I guess this is what we kind of expected to see from Liquid, isn't it? This kind of play where they are going to be putting on pressure early. MP are going to be tested in how well they can stop that pressure. And at the moment, MP they are doing it. Yep. Aoi still needs quite a bit of time to obviously get to the space he wants to be in terms of the Naga, but he's not falling behind massively. He's still up there. He is still getting that farm.
I like this move. It looks like they'll get the kill. You know Kuro's just down here by himself. He's not. If he has backup, it's only going to come from TPs. They're not going to be heroes camping behind a support Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman's there because he wants his level 6. He's got the Tomb of Knowledge now at least, so that will get him just about there. But realistically, that's probably like the easiest kill to get for MP, and slowing down that level 6 is just going to prevent Liquid from taking towers as early as they'd like. But again, Liquid are at this position where you find a kill on one side of the map, it's the other side of the map you've got to worry about, and that's exactly where Liquid are taking a tier 1 tower at top for free.
Yeah, poor Kuro, he's been having a rough time this game indeed. He has been 6 of the 8 kills that MP have gotten.
Yeah, I mean, few of them a bit sloppy in the early game, but I feel like his last couple deaths not really like that death there is just what happens when you're that solo like 5 position support trying to catch up, get your level 6, you'll often get picked off, so his last couple deaths a bit more understandable, but we'll see Liquid now really full steam ahead, taking towers, top tier 1, now looking for the mid tier 1, but could be dangerous.
He goes, dropping the demonic purge onto Miracle, now trying to close in. In fact, well, the turnaround's going to be there. Miracle immediately with the Dragon Tail, and follow through Shackle from Kuroki. That's going to be a back kill, and as you were saying, you know, you lose a hero or an opening starts to become apparent on the map, Liquid will be quick to punish you with their push. Take a tier 1 and potentially move in for more. Drums are pop. Miracle trying to close the gap in onto Rose. Going very deep for this one. The arrow and the destruction being thrown down to hold him back. And I think they'll turn and look to just taking down this tower. The fortification already coming out from the side of MP.
A bit early. Also maybe a bit unnecessary. It's a tier 2 tower. You have to be careful how you use your glyphs at this stage, since it will mean they won't have future tower defenses. You really want to try to use it when you're actually defending, and defending they are.
Now we're going to try and make a move in onto Miracle. Tombstone down. Arrow is going to goes through, and it does connect onto poor Kuroki. Kuroki once again being the casualty. Miracle tries for a TP out. He's not going to make it. They've got the damage to bring him down. And MP hitting hard on the defensive. They've taken 2. They'll look towards Matumbaman. They'll get themselves a 3rd, a 4th, as well as Bo2 drops as well in the mid lane. So MP there making the plays happen, and this is scary for Liquid. If you're losing that many heroes off the back of a push when the Naga turns up, you know, Aoi able to just totally turn that situation around with the Song of the Siren. You can't afford to give those kind of, you know, beneficial plays to the Naga, because Aoi will hit that relic, he will hit that radiance, and suddenly the issue becomes a lot greater for Liquid.
Now there'll be some kind of question marks thrown MP's way as far as defending towers without the sleep, though. That was a big key setup. It allows them to get the tombstone in position, to even spawn some zombies before the sleep ends. They can set up the arrow. I'm not sure they were actually aiming for Kuro. It looked more like they were aiming for the DK on the front lines, but possibly...
I think it was just the timing of the song taking.
Yeah, may have been the timing. May have actually been the target they were going for, because there was no wards planned as well. DK ended up dying without the arrow, although he almost TP'd out. But if you're Liquid, I believe you just want to go push again. Like, you'll have your ultimates before Naga does, so Naga without sleep makes that fight a lot harder to play out. Just make sure you have sentries for the Moonlight Shadow and just keep looking for those. Ideally, you want to get at least 1, maybe 2 tier 2 towers while that sleep is down.
Let's see what they can do about this. As at the moment in the jungle, Mind Control farming up. Envy is in the neighborhood. And does also have the bat around, so Mind Control feeling fairly confident, though, I guess, with that ward down in MP's jungle.
Yeah, doesn't actually have any Necro books yet. He's almost, close to that Necro 1, which is probably an item they hold off for before they go for that push. He's going to TP himself home now. I'm curious, does he have, like, can sell a Stout Shield maybe to buy it? But ideally wants to have that before he goes back out to the lane.
Right, there we have it. Necro book out, as you mentioned, and Liquid... We'll see how hard they're going again. They are going to know that, of course, Song down for a fair while. So they can try and achieve something as well. And indeed, as you mentioned earlier, there is that kind of a gap where, because the fortification was used rather early, there is that window for Liquid to really put the pressure on.
Do they threaten high ground with Serpent Woods is the question for me, because without Song, that could be difficult to defend. Batrider doesn't have Blink because of the drum field. He's even committed the Firefly, so if they go with this next creep, this
is a great opening for Liquid. It really is, and they know it. They know it. They're going in. They're up to the high ground. 14 minutes in.
Oh, it's dangerous.
And MP, I mean, what can they do about this? Losing Grex at this stage of the game is pretty painful for MP's lineup.
Yeah,
they cannot clear this out very well. You know, no Ags yet on the Mirana, no Radiance on the Naga. They want to fight. They need to do something about this. They're looking to lead onto Miracle. Arrow flying through. It's not going to connect onto anything. Miracle, in fact, taking huge amounts of damage. The false promise comes through. Miracle's kept alive. The turnaround takedown now. No casualties yet on the side of Liquid. Miracle able to survive through the false promise with that Dragon's Blood healing. And now he wants to go back in. Drums are popped. He tries to close in. But with the Moonlight Shadow and the arrow holding him back, they really want to find these melee racks. 20 seconds still without the Batrider. Miracle moving in again. They should be able to find this. And they will indeed. 15 minutes in, Liquid get the successful push. Clean and simple down the mid lane. Clearing out the racks here. And as we were saying, it's all a matter of just watching those ultimate timings on MP. Looks like they won't get the range racks, but of course the melee racks, that's what they're going to be the happiest with. Yeah, the creep's being cut by Naga. Aoi trying to be as annoying as he can.
Yep. Still no Radiance though, so possibly it's gonna, the next push like that's harder because Naga, even without Radiance, will come back for the song setup, and we saw how disastrous that can be for Liquid. So very important they got some key damage there. A melee Rex this early on is huge. It's far from game over. Is a Naga Siren game is something where this game can still see a lot of action develop and a lot of comeback potential for the MP side. Doesn't even feel like that's like a crushing blow. Like, they're behind a little bit, but it does feel like it's just a small deficit losing one melee Rex, despite it being as early as it is. So we're going to come down to that next push. And the problem is Rax money is a lot. So you're going to see like that upgraded Necrobook immediately. We'll see item pickups from the DK in the form of the Armlet. The Jug's going to have his Manta style soon. So it does get a lot more difficult to defend the next Rax because of all those items that Liquid will be picking up.
MP ready for the smoke, but indeed that pesky Beastmaster Hawk spots it all out. So Liquid,
Jug's gone.
They're out. MP unlikely to find something with this one.
Yep.
It's going to be hard for them with it being scouted out by Mind Control's Hawk.
Yeah, good position from him with the Hawk.
I like this as well. If you look to Kuro, you know, halfway through the Aghanims, you get a good timing on that, and suddenly, the Rex of MP are not going to have a good time if he gets himself in on those.
I mean, Liquid now smoking up themselves. They realize like they can't try and brute force the Rax as easily. They want to find a pick-up. Mind Control going to be leading the way, and unfortunately doesn't get the best smoke reveal position to get the roar off. Even the Bat without a blink couldn't get a latch on, but should be at least a tier 2 tower. We'll see if MP try and defend this one. Naga is up there. And they're going to smoke it. Looks like they want to make a play.
Yeah, he's got the Relic done now. Yeah, Relic should be on the courier. So that first turtle gone. And indeed, as you said, they are going to look to the fight. Aoi setting up with a song. Nice ultimate Timmerman. Miracle and Mind Control caught on the front lines of it. Kuro to the left side. Tombstones down, we'll see how this kicks off. Nak looks to get the lasso immediately off the Beastmaster, dragging out of the side of the fight. Aoi focuses Kuroki, get the Hex down off the Naga Siren with the Moonlight out. They're trying to fight back. SVG healing himself up. Will be able to back off. Liquid not losing anyone as of yet there. They have the healing ward down. They're keeping themselves alive. They'll turn around with the Dragon Tail. They actually end up being the side to get the kill.
Really
Liquid take the tier 2, they'll move on, and now no ults. The ults are gone. They don't have Serpent wards. They did drop that in the fight, but I don't think they care. Liquid have got a lot of pushing power, even without the Shadow Shaman ult.
They just popped the drums and immediately recognized the Tombstone was going to be the biggest threat that fight. They killed the Tomb very early on. Bulba was in a great position, tucked away in the trees to false promise off the Batrider lasso, and from there on out, that fight was straightforward thanks to all the healing coming out from the Oracle as well as the healing ward. And they're going to get a second melee Rax in. 18 minutes in. This is where the game gets very difficult.
This is Liquid showing us they have the answer to the Naga.
Yeah.
This is how you beat Naga Siren. Through and through. And this is at a point indeed where Aoi's still holding on to try and get that Radiance complete. He's a few hundred gold away, but they're already 2 sets of racks down. Liquid are going to be ready to get themselves in position to push around the bottom, take a tier 2. Hey, maybe pick up a Roche and Aegis on the way.
It's so hard now because that next, again, every push gets harder and harder to defend. The next one, there's going to be a mech on a 5-position Oracle, the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah,
he's going to have
Axe. He's going to have his Axe.
Minutes in. This is a Shadow Shaman who went 0-7. This is really one of probably the biggest pros and reasons to go for these super all-in push strats is because the amount of income you get from these racks is absurd.
Once you get the ball rolling, it just adds to the power.
No, it's absolutely brutal, and Liquid right now are looking to get that fast 20-25-minute win here. If they can get another axe here, it looks like they'll play it safe and make a detour for Roche, possibly just thinking with an Aegis it gets that little bit easier, not to mention Miracle sitting on 2.8k gold, so potentially a BKB is another item they may look to wait for on him. But either way, things are really good for them. Only now do we see the Radiance and the Acceptor Mirana come up. Those are the two team fight / pushing items they needed, and they didn't have either for the first 2 lanes of racks that went down.
But as we can see, no way that MP can stop the Roche going. Oh, okay. Shadow Poison. Hey. We're going to need a few more nerfs on that Ice Frog.
And that was almost
actually taking the kill.
They almost defended the mid racks with Shadow Poison alone. That was when Miracle got like down to 100 HP brilliant. On his DK.
Absolutely brilliant.
But now we'll see what Naga can. This is where you got to get illusions behind the push, take out creep waves. But if you're Liquid, all you need is 1 creep wave, and if you stick your heroes on 1 creep wave, defend it, you'll be just fine. Envy's already cutting in behind, but again, he'll take the following creep wave, but he won't be able to take that front creep wave.
Yeah, and as we said, with the Aghanims on the Shaman, you only need that small window of deactivating the backdoor protection ready with 1 wave to be able to do enough damage to take down a set.
Question is, can this Firefly take out this creep wave? And that's possibly going to be enough. It'll be close at least.
If they get a healing ward down though, they should be able to keep him alive.
Might be worth chucking a healing ward just to save
Heal
that
your creeps,
wave.
son! Heal your creeps! Think of the creeps, Matumba man!
No, they've got no creep. Well, I guess creeps could enter the base through mid or top, you know.
That's true, but they're still quite far behind. I mean, the mid one could be closest.
Envy can cut another one. He's still in the position at bottom lane to do so.
Yeah, the pings come out. Liquid know they need to move a creep wave over, so they'll head over to the mid lane. Matumba actually going to start to try and head up, but he realizes, hang on, we've got no creeps.
You can just go through mid lane if you really want. You've got a siege creep there at least.
Naga Siren,
save
boys
the
and
siege
girls.
creep. That's
Carty, we're going to need you for the mission.
They actually should have healing warded that creep wave bottom lane in hindsight.
They should have thought of the creeps.
They didn't realize that Envy had probably cut the next wave right away or something. And if anything, they may have just been waiting on BKB again.
Have they still got Carty? Oh, they lost him.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Rip Carty.
Look at the pings coming out. It's like, look, we've got to stop the creeps, boys.
Yeah. I think Liquid were actually not worried about pushing high ground because they were waiting this BKB for Dragon Knight, so they probably had a different idea to us. We're like, all right, let's pack it up, let's go home. Day's over.
They need creeps.
No, Liquid's like, oh, well, wait a few minutes. This Aegis lasts 5 minutes, not 2 minutes, guys. We're in no rush. We've got a creep wave now, which is being escorted by Miracle.
They've got to keep these creeps alive.
Yep, where's that Firefly Batrider? You got to get that down as soon as possible.
This is like one of those nasty escort missions in those games that you wish you could skip. Liquid have got to pull it off. It's survive, keep the creeps alive, get them to the base without them doing stupid things and getting shot by some NPC.
Here we go. The Naga
the creeps alive, boys. There we go. We're all good. Round 2. Oh no, the Riptide. Oh no,
there's a rage creep.
Oh, he's dying. Oh, the push is over.
Another way, don't worry.
Yes, kill the illusions.
This is round 2 of the mission.
Protect the creeps at all costs. Here we go.
Alright,
now they're close enough. Yeah, backdoor's gone. Backdoor's gone. So they've got that down in Liquid. They'll move in. But there is a song, and now he's going to use it. Matumba man already played Fury, but they'll look to move in. What can they do? And they need something big. Can MP pull off the defense of the arrow? Well, it's a few patches too late. Oh no, sorry, I did catch off. It's all good. Nash being focused by Miracle though. The BKB comes out. They have lost the Batrider, but Matumba still keeping himself alive in the sidelines there with the healing wall. Finally goes down. Has the Aegis. Kuroki's out, but he's already dropped the ward, so he's kind of already got his job done this fight. Matumba and Miracle, the two big boys still standing strong. They'll be able to take down the tower. SVG falling low, keeps himself alive as he gets in the clap, but Matumba comes in with the Omni Slash. SVG now down. Matumba trying to turn towards MV, Blaze Fury, but the ensnare's there. And Matumba, can he get himself out? No, he can't. MP pulling off the defense here. They're looking towards Miracle as well, and they're going to get it. So MP, they do get the kills. They did lose the tower.
It's a good hold.
And they do indeed hold. And a good, 2.9k swing as such. So a few more of those.
Yep.
And they can do it, and we saw how long it took Liquid to be able to bring that push together because of the fact that MP, with Envy's Ags, with Aui's Naga, they're so good at de-pushing the waves and keeping the creeps away from the base.
Yeah. Not fighting in the open, fighting on your high ground meant the tombstone was really tucked away in the corner there, couldn't easily get reached and brought down. It took a long time before it died, and more importantly, the arrow from the sleep caught Bulba meant there was no Oracle in the fight. Envy just jumped for him, which also, it just enables the bat to do his thing. He then can lasso someone without worrying about a false promise. You take away a lot of the healing and the sustain, and MP get a much better fight. I mean, they were never going to have good fights for the previous Raxes without the Radiance, without the Ag Scepter on Envy. Now they've got those items, and with a fight like that, you suddenly see a BKB on Envy, you suddenly see a Bo2 travel, and partway to an Octarine call for AUI, so it's only going to get better from here on out for NP, but with that said, you're down 4 Raxes, so you're still in the weeds.
I forgot how much time have they got before Song's back up. It's
too bad.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, he's what level
2 is
level
good
2
enough.
Song's
Yeah.
cooldown is.
It matches like the
Fine.
DK ulti cooldown. I say that he's got an arcane rune, so that kind of fumbles that a bit.
Yeah, I'll probably want to use that. Serpent Wards, what are we looking at the timing for that? That's back up as well, so the tools are all there. Liquid ready to go, and they're going to smoke up and go for this one.
Yeah, this is good, useful for Ball because it means he's not going to be spotted with the daytime vision.
It was under the ward though.
Yeah.
So they know that they're smoked.
They'll know he's there, but they won't know the exact position for the arrow because they don't have the side of it.
Looking for some sort of wrap around here. Coming in from the side. Here we go again. The Song using to set up tombstones down. We'll see how well Liquid can do this time around. Indeed, the ward's already dropped, and MP trying to focus them. BKB comes out from Miracle. He's just focusing objectives. He's just going for the racks here, trying to get the damage down. He'll take down the ranged racks. Now the focus of MP is going to be surrounding Miracle, but he's been false promise, kept alive. They have lost Bulba on the back lines. Miracle trying to do his best to stand tall in this fight, but two man being Demonic Purge taken down, and again Liquid are losing heroes on this. Kuroki tries for the TP out, he's going to make it. But 3 heroes dead once again on Liquid. They do get the ranged racks. Melee racks still standing. So again, Liquid slowly doing it, but at the same time, NP, the game is getting better and better for them. They're defending, they're getting more gold onto Aoi, and they can deal with this kind of push because they've got those wave clearing heroes such as the Mirana Ags and this farm Naga Siren.
Even Batrad, a hero who's pretty decent at clearing out waves by himself. He's not worried if he sees like a double or a triple creep wave coming at him, so all 3 of those. Even Shadow Demon, you got Shadow Poison, so it's this game is this weird feel. Like when you hear like 5 racks down by 26 minutes, you're like, okay, that's game in the bag. But this doesn't quite feel like the story's just over yet for NP and Liquid.
It really does. It really does. It's classic kind of Jackie Mao on the board.
Yeah, I mean, all it's going to take is one MP slip up, like a bad pickoff or a bad song usage, and game does end right there, and then game is over. But if NP play things fairly safe, use the sleep for the tombstone to clear up the serpent ones as well on the high ground defense, this game could go all right for them and could potentially see a turnaround, but they've got to play it perfectly to not lose that last rack. Mega creeps, at that point it does get a bit tough for them.
Here we go, Liquid moving in again, and this time, yeah, again, only 10 seconds till Song.
Uh-oh, going to be a bit dicey.
Nax going to make a good jump in as well onto Kuroki. Where's your wards now, son of a gun? He's dead, he's 45 seconds out. Miracle's going to continue to try and push in. BKB and the damage isn't going to be enough. Fortification will come out, and Liquid, they just throw everything in the racks. Necro Freeze coming in, but the Song comes out. Again, it looks like Liquid may be punished for this, and I don't think they're going to get away with taking down the melee racks. The arrow connects onto Miracle. Miracle's going to go down. They'll surround Mind Control. They'll take the Beastmaster as well. And again, they can't finish off this melee racks. And MP, they're getting $, each time these failed pushes come through.
That's Necro book money, Surfboard money. That time they didn't get the Surfboards down, but in the past it has been like, those things give a lot of money at the early stages of the game. At this point, Liquid are kind of just feeding, to put it bluntly. They're
throwing bodies at those racks.
It's not a calculated approach. It's not a strategic approach. It's not an approach you'd expect from a team led by Kuroki, but I think just a bit of kind of overconfidence. They think the game's in the bag. You know, you also know you're on a little bit of a timer because you're versing Naga, but then you get 4 or 5 Raxes and you're like, great, we're good now. We don't have to worry about this game anymore. Let's just go through bodies of the racks. But then it's like, well, wait a second. We do have to worry. This game isn't going to be so easy for them.
Yeah, this is...
And you got to start being a little bit more concerned about your approach if you're Liquid. You can't just try and be brutes here and keep clubbing away at this last Rax and expect to to turn wood into fire. This is not working for them. They need to have a bit more finesse.
They need to make it happen this time. I mean, and that is the thing. But
they're going for it again. Is this really the play? 35 seconds. They obviously know this sleep cooldown better than pretty well, so they feel like they can make this play. But
I mean, if they do it when sleep isn't available, I think they do clear out the racks. You know what I mean?
Illusions. They're kind of tanky enough. Just with the soul boost, they've got a bit more HP.
They've got to keep the creeps alive.
They're not doing it. I think they have to back off. And actually, it's NP going aggressive.
Here we go, Moonlight Shadow MP, ready to go. But again, mind control. He's got those hawks out. He knows what's going down, and they're ready for the counter initiation.
I believe Liquid know what's going on. They did have a fairly deep lane ward to see a lot of the movements out of the base.
Yeah, they've got the hawks out.
Yep.
They see all. Liquid, they'll try to push, but again, ults are back up. The song of the siren is there. And Aoi, he has his vocal cords out there ready.
By this, I don't know. I feel like I've just seen this one a few too many times. I guess they also just wanting to push while Glyph is down, so if they do get the Serpent Wards down, they're looking good to perhaps take that Rax. Ugh.
Yeah, if they find the right opening, they can definitely take it.
Yeah.
But as we've seen the last, 2-3 times, it hasn't been successful.
If they can get creeps on the high, if they get the Serpent Wards down before Kuro dies, and they have Necrobooks, Manta, plus a Blade Fearing Jug and a BKB DK, they can kill the Rax while the sleep doesn't even matter because they're magic immune and they've got Serpent Wards, but that's like a 5-man suicide to take Rax kind of approach, and it's also like no guarantees you're even going to get all those spells off, so I think a much safer approach is just, push all 3 lanes at once. Maybe even fall back and try and secure some late game items. Like at this point, like it's not a bad idea to like pick up a late Midas on someone like a Dragon Knight. Just get some more farm going. But I don't think that's gonna be the Liquid way. They're 5-manning. They're really showing signs that they want to end this as fast as possible. Ideally, they need to pick off the sneak off to the side. This isn't going to work with a Dire Ward up there. If anything,
Kuroki, there's no way he gets out of this. He's gone, and that is the wards again off the map for 45 seconds. They need his wards.
Yep. And this is Maelstrom now, more deep push.
Yeah. This is getting to the point where it really is looking like Liquid. They did have a plan. They had a draft. They came into this. But at this stage, 31 minutes in, where they haven't been able to get the mega creeps to the least, and obviously haven't been able to end the game.
Yeah.
It's only going to get harder and harder. Octarine done. Now he as well.
Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, it's very easy to say. Once they got 4 racks uncontested, that last racks was going to be a lot harder because of the Ags and the Radiance. They could have just recognized that, sat back and said, okay, we can't get this last racks, let's just farm the whole map. We have our jungle, their jungle, we can ward up, we can grab a gem, we can grab some Midases, and we win the late game. Because their lineup goes very well to the late game.
Do they win the late game? You think they would have a better chance if they're out farming?
Yeah, but right now they're not out farming is the thing.
But how do you out farm a Radiance Naga?
By having better map control. I mean, you're kind of at the point where you no longer can. Back then, like when you're up 4 Raxes, you were in a position where you could, because you can starve them, like you can keep them in their base by threat of the push, while farming out their jungle, while having your supports get items. But now you're at this point where you've fed away your life so many times that you can't really reliably out farm the Naga. Getting Midases now don't give you as much value because you've kind of waited a bit too long to go for them. So you've kind of lost that opportunity.
And again, they're losing heroes. That's the opening onto mind control. So Kamari onto the back line as they'll look to check out the area, see what they're dealing with. It's going to be mind control out. Bolver surrounded. He'll have to false promise himself, but he's almost certainly going to go down. Kuroki is coming across. He drops the wards, but he's looking to kill Envy, and he will get the Envy kill, but it does cost him his life. Matuma Man, he's turning up to the fight as well. Jumps to the Omni Slash onto Aoi. Oh, that TP. Oi.
No buyback on Naga there, I don't believe. Jeez, that would have been
pretty game changing.
Yeah, that would have been like the mistake they've been waiting for to suddenly break open this game.
But again, Liquid losing these fights, this time outside of the base of MP. You know, this has got to be where it's scary, you know, for Liquid. The fact that MP now are actively coming out on the map, choosing to take fights over Liquid's side, and they're coming out on top.
Yeah, you can see the lines being drawn by Kuro. Push out top, push out mid. circles around the enemy jungle, farm this, push lanes, like, come on guys, we don't need it. They don't need to 5-man. The thing is, if you're not 5-man, you're getting picked off by Batterbit, which is problematic. That's what we saw happen there to the Beastmaster, so to some extent, splitting up is risky, but that's where they've got to try use their vision, use the Hawks to prevent those NP initiations while farming and pushing out these lanes. It just gets, you're kind of at this point where they've thrown away enough of their lead, they don't actually have the map control advantage. It's a much more kind of even state of the game. And this game could go for quite a while longer now. If AUI gets up to the Manta style, you're looking at even more illusions spreading around the map. If he hits level 6, 16 is actually a big upgrade for him, getting that max level Song of the Siren.
The song cooldown's ridiculously short then, isn't it, with the Octarine? Okay, I'll tell you what, straight 45 seconds. An MP? I mean, Roshan is up if they want to try and look to secure it, but at the same time, they're probably happier finding a pick-off or a fight outside. Liquid relatively grouped up at the moment. They're missing mind control. He's up towards the top.
It's Roshan, but again, you want to be pushing out that top lane, forcing an MP hero to defend it. It's this kind of tug of war with the lanes where if you tug enough of that top lane, MP will have to make a response. And then that can kind of open up somewhere else on the map. But it's MP into the Roshan pit first, with Envy throwing an arrow for now. He feels confident that he can maybe just take this one by himself. Not much help. Naga not the best Roshan here, but you do want Naga in the neighborhood. The illusions have pushed out the side lanes, and that means AUI may just be in the area to provide that song support should they need it. And yeah, if down 5 racks is, they say, alright, Rosh is ours, we don't care about the rack state.
And this is really, really worrying for Liquid now at this stage. The fact that the opponents can pull this kind of maneuver off, as you said, when they are 5 racks down. Yeah. All because of the good old Naga that everyone knows and loves. Naga Siren, boys and girls. It's doing well, and in Aui's hands, it's certainly proving to be very, very reliable, you know what I mean? Aoi pulls out the Naga, MP very good at playing around it. Again, it's a game where Aoi hasn't died at all. He's 5-0-14. And at this point, you know, Liquid, they're going to have to come up with some amazing kind of outplay to be able to maneuver around MP, take a fight, or at least get those mega creeps, and then have the chance for that opening final push down mid. I mean, at this rate of the game, it may be all down to Kuroki getting a refresher or something, you know what I mean? Just something that's going to have a huge impact for the huge kind of wombo combo, finish off the game, but it's going to take a lot of time, and MP, they'll be happy to give Liquid all the time that they need, because MP know that at this stage of the game, Aui's only going to become more and more of a beast. You know, once he gets a butterfly and a heart in this game, yeah, I really don't know what you do if you're Liquid.
Yeah, like they're going to have to look to capitalize on mistakes, and the game's going to get even kind of more split pushy, more Raptor needs to kind of intensify as far as the backdooring, trying to have someone like Shadow Shaman sneak in the top lane, go for the tier 4 towers with like a refresher, while someone like Jug and DK distract at the bottom racks. Like it's going to be a tough game for Liquid to close out. It's still that 5 racks advantage where one small mistake can lead to mega creeps, and even just MP, MP can't really push and leave their base, because that's where the backdoor comes into play. If you're pushing out your lanes, you can't easily push all 3 lanes at once. All it's going to take is one lane to be slightly not pushed out, and suddenly Liquid's in your base going for your throne. Liquid do huge building damage, while MP do very bad building damage. Their 2 heroes carries, Naga and Mirana, are not building hitters. So for MP to win this game, it's going to take a long, long time unless they somehow team wipe Liquid and they have no buybacks.
Oh, leading in on the mid lane. Envy comes forward, takes the Dragon Towers the pace. Miracle. It's going to be slowed down by Rose's Rod of Atos. Get the tower. Nax moving in. Maybe seeing if he could have found a Blink Lasso. It's not going to be the case. And, oh, indeed as well, yeah. Bit of a mess up there with the Radiant Fortification coming in after the tower went down. So it is going to be on that longer cooldown.
Well, MP have a Mjolnir now on Envy's Mirana. He's having a jolly good time. And this is where Liquid are going to be kind of scratching their heads, like, what do we do? What's the plan? Matsu's going to BKB. I wonder if this is almost just like an item to help take those last couple of buildings, like pop a BKB and hit buildings, but at the same time, there's a glyph to fight through. It's not going to be easy even with the BKBs.
BKBs and a couple of rapiers. That'll do it.
Even Kuro's picked up a Ogre Club, so he may be thinking BKB as well. But they don't have any like counter items to the bat. There's no Lincolns, no Lotus Orbs. No really utility items outside of the mech. There's no even Force Staffs again. This is kind of where they've gone all in with this push strat. They've just got the one mech, nothing else as far as positioning goes, as far as defensive tools. Which makes it a lot harder to play this late game kind of stage. When you don't have those items to help you out. But yeah, they're gonna have to play the slow one. Curious to see if Matu even considers going back for like a very late Battle Fury just to help push out these lanes, or if he's going to be all in on just taking out some buildings.
They're going to have to come up with something to deal with these illusions that Aui's just constantly sending down the lanes. To the point now where, 2 or 3 lanes, they're pushed back over to Liquid's side of the map. And soon to be the one up top as well, as that's been worked on. As Liquid, they had the momentum at the start, but up against the Naga, it looked good, but it seems to have ended up to be a momentum that just wasn't able to peak as quickly as it needed to. It was close, they got the 5 racks, but then it hit that kind of stalemate where suddenly it wasn't enough, and NP overtake the control of the game, and at this stage it's very much seeming to be in NP's control and in NP's favor.
They're fishing for pickoffs with the Beastmaster, but it's going to be NP with numbers coming to this top lane. Uh-oh. Ooh, Jug could not have blinked out any sooner to save his life there, but Jug may live. We'll see if Mind Control does as well.
This is going to keep himself hidden in the trees. Pink's coming out. They want to go searching, but yeah, Mind Control already TPing himself away from this one.
Radiant's top tower has...
MV's down on bottom on his own. Hasbro's coming around as well. Or maybe eyeing up Kuroki. He could try for a bit of a cheeky play if the arrow connects. It's not going to be the case. Actually jumping forward. Just ready to force the creep wave out there with Mjolnir and such. And get Kuroki out.
Yep. The game's going to slow down for a bit here. It's going to turn into a game of both teams looking for catches and pickoffs, trying to use smokes, Mirana, Moonlight Shadows, Beastmaster, Blink Roars, and the Hawk Vision to try and set up kills around the map. Neither team can... I guess NP, to a small extent, could group up the push, but they just push very slowly, and best case scenario is you get like an outer tower. You're not going to be able to break high ground all that easily. So it will definitely see a decrease in pace here. As Miracle's gone back from Mjolnir himself to help push out and deal with some of these illusions that'll be coming into play. Also looking to guarantee that he has some late game power. I think there's the Ice Armor creep accompanying him. And has been kind of stacking Ancients for himself. So he's looking to this is kind of the alternative to the Midas, is having the Helm of the Dominator, stack Ancients, and play towards the late game 6-slotted DK to try and beat the Naga Siren.
Liquid actually smoked up. And heading towards the top. Aui's going to pick up the Diffusal Blade of the Naga, so again, going to be even nicer for these fights that are going to be inevitable, because Liquid are going to look to force it. And this is going to be their attempt. Liquid have kind of given it a few, about, it feels like maybe even 5 or 10 minutes since that bottom lane.
They don't have a blink on Kuro. It makes it very tough to find these pickoffs. I think that's actually something that right now Liquid have to be telling themselves they really need. You're looking at ability to find pickoffs and catch, it's only the Blink Raw.
The illusions just chasing down Kuroki, taking the healing ward, and now taking Kuro's life, dragging him back into the hands of Envy. He's out. Miracle will pop the BKB, but the demonic purge is there. MP looks to surround him. Miracle trying to take down the tombstone. It's not going to happen. Miracle's gone. But Timberman will jump in with the Omni Slash, but not getting enough bounces to get a kill as such. Instead, to hold him in place, but Timberman's out. And I think there's going to be a few players having nightmares about Aui's Naga tonight. It really is just the unstoppable force.
A bit unlucky for Matu there. I was hoping for the Omni Slash to stay on the Naga and look for that kill there. If it stuck to him when he split off in his own direction, could have possibly found the kill again. It's hoping for a lot. But yeah, this is looking very tough for Liquid now. It's crazy to think that a team down 5 racks is the team in the driver's seat, but this is NP leading the way here at 43 minutes.
Nacht with Aghanims at the ready if he wants to go in for it.
I want to say it might be an Octarine core just for the cooldowns.
You think? I guess.
Pretty it's like a kind of nifty item on the bat right in a lot of ways. Yeah. I don't think the AoE Ags is... I don't know. Both are decent. He's got the arcane boots he can disassemble, and Octarine just means you've got more uptime on your lasso, all your spells like your Firefly to clear out waves has more uptime, but not sure the AoE, the multiple hero axis needed this game.
Well, it's going to be jumped on, but he's got the back of a mind control, and Axe this time could be punished. Broken mind control, turning their attention towards the bat. Moonlight comes out, but with the Necro 3 out, he's down.
There's a first mistake from MP in a while, but it's not going to be a costly one.
Well, they do lose the gem. So that is something there.
Yeah.
So Liquid maybe with a chance of getting a bit of map control back up with that gem out of the hands of MP. But Liquid, they certainly need a fair few more of those slip-ups, it feels, from MP to happen.
Oh yeah. Miracle's picked up a Demon Head, so we'll see some kind of big damage out of him. I want to say MKB.
Oh, Rapier DK would be beautiful, but I think much more likely to be
MKB. Even Daedalus has always been a pretty decent item to get on Dragon Knight. MKB, just because of the Radiance burn, is maybe more likely. I guess he's got BKB to deal with it, but that's down to 6 seconds already. And there's always that potential for a butterfly on Naga Siren as the game drags on.
Pings out on Roshan, actually, that's a good point. Wednesday just back up.
There's going to be butterfly on both Mirana and on Envy and AUI both have Talisman of Evasion, so definitely an MKB.
Ouch.
But Miracle's been stacking Ancients again. He recognized the shitty position they found themselves in, and man, it sucks when you're up 5 racks, though, and let me tell you, being up 5 racks is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
But he went back for the Helm of the Dominator, he's stacking Ancients, and hoping for the best in the late game, because this is where we're kind of headed now, where you look at this game, you say you can't end it. Let's just go all in on the super late game items. That's where Kuro's like, he could get a blink for the pickoffs, but he's just opted to go BKB because this is like a team fight, more late game oriented build. A blink is more like a let's get pickoffs now and try and still win the game. But they probably just keep saying like we can't win the game now. It's not working. Let's go. I don't know, plan B, I guess. I'm not sure if this is really plan B. It's probably further down the list for them, but even so, Liquid just hoping right now. Hoping on a miracle.
And they've got it. They've got it. They've got him on the DK. But he's still a few hundred away from that MKB. And even at that, whether that's going to be enough, it's still left to be seen. But the Aoi Naga still towering strong at the top of the net worth with all those items, all that money, all that power, all that fear that he's instilling across the map and across the side of Liquid.
Yeah, they're just camping Roche Pit now, like, alright, we got this. They know it's going to be close to max duration respawn. Put the tomb up for good measure for safety, and there's no really coming near this. If you're Liquid, you're like, how about we make them push high ground now? They've had the high ground defender's advantage all game long. Let's us use the high ground advantage. Naga's pretty much 6-slotted once she has the butterfly. At that point, there's no more item progression available for her. Envy's close to being 6-slotted, so if anything, your Liquid's shoes, you're just kind of like, they're not getting any scarier. Are they going to try and push high ground and win the game when they're 6-slotted? Let's wait and see, because we can get more tanky. DK can get a Satanic, he can replace his armlet. Juggernaut has item slots to fill out as well. Like, all of the Liquid heroes are going to keep on farming and transitioning more, whereas for NP, like, Bats, he's kind of peeking out. Like, that's not a hero that does a whole lot more with farm. Same for like a Shadow Demon's going for an Octarine core. I mean, this is a very farm Shadow Demon, but it's not like a core hero in the sense where like more items translate to like directly more damage in teamfight. But heroes like Jug, DK, definitely that's the case. The Beastmaster Refresher, that to me is like a big late game item pickup. So even a Shadow Shaman with a potential refresher. So I feel like Liquid, if they can drag this to like 70, 80 minutes while they maintain this level of farm, are going to find themselves with a higher chance to win than they have right now. It's odd, because Naga, like, from 50 to, like, 60, 65 minutes, she's really strong, but then everyone else starts to catch up, and then the hero starts to feel a little bit weaker once you go, like, 70-plus minutes. So that's getting, like, super kind of late-game, theory-crafty area of the game, but that's where, I guess, MP are looking to kind of make sure their supports at least get some farm. Likely you see AUI, like, buy all the gems and Tombs of Knowledge and things to help out his team, buy all the wards up.
Refresher. He's going to be done on mind control, and in fact, mind control coming in with the first roll onto Envy. Envy's going to have the back of FSPG. Can they actually get Envy out of this, though? He's been hexed up. Heading to the north, he's going to make it. BKB's out of the turnaround now from MP. They're moving on to Microtron. Microtron down for 17 seconds. Kuroki will be able to TP back out. But just as I said, that big purchase, the refresh orb comes through. That purchase cost him his buyback. So Liquid now down a member for a full minute. And this could potentially be a very painful blow MP are about to deliver to Liquid's base.
It's a tough one. No counter push going to either mid or bottom lane means Liquid have to defend. They can't try and split push. They've got to just take this head on and try and defeat it. It might get time for the Beastmaster to buy back. Miracle on the front line is pretty good at clearing these waves, and what we saw last time from MP was just slow sieging with illusions, and it looks like they're going to continue that trend. You can see their drawings on the map. They're saying starve them out, keep them in this little triangle of the map. Don't let them out. Keep the illusions pushing out all 3 lanes, and we can see that's exactly what's going on.
And that's ready to fight. There's the Laster coming into action. It will be purged off Miracle with a false promise, but they've lost Kuroki. Another man down that does not buy back. They'll have the Beastmaster back in 5. Mind control back up. With no circle boards for the defense. MP ready to push on. Tombstone shot down. Miracle trying to focus and bring it down, but the Sockler Siren's there.
Arrow.
Looking to set it up. MP getting the arrow angle, looking for the kill. He's going to not connect onto Miracle though, because the BKB comes down in time. MP's down once. It's going to be bad with the Aegis for round 2. Mind control coming onto the backliners. Look for Knack. A jump forward there from the tunnel man as well. They're looking to take down the back rider. They'll get it. Bats out. SVG to be focused as well. Mind control wants the refresher. There's your second roar. Onto Envy. They'll get the kill onto SVG on the sidelines. Liquid, they could be doing it here. They'll find a third. Now towards the side. Can they actually get that big kill? They need Owie. But Owie's already out. And MP do have buybacks. MP gets himself back in the game. Bat and Undying can also buy back as well if required, and it may be because Liquid will look to go as hard and fast as they can potentially down this mid lane, especially when Kuroki's back.
It's gonna feel so good for Liquid. It's like take a taste of your own medicine, and what we've been dealing with for 45 minutes. Defending high ground is just a lot easier than pushing high ground majority of the time, and Envy and AUI slightly mistiming that sleep into arrow combo really cost him, because Envy was banking on the arrow landing. He'd already charged forward onto the enemy high ground, almost anticipating that it would actually hit the Dragon Knight. And when it didn't, he was in a terrible position. Yeah, he had the Aegis, and he didn't actually die the first time, but he kind of pulls his team into this terrible position to bail him out from the enemy base, and that ended up being a big misplay from the side of NP. Give a nice little boost.
I like the ballsiness, really, of Miracle and Matuma Man. You know, they're both going all in on the items.
Yeah.
You know, they're not...
Absolutely.
They're saying, screw buyback. If we can't stop them with 1 life, we're unlikely going to be able to stop them with 2 lives, with the limited. So they know that they've got to build up, get their builds complete. MKB's out for Matuma Man. AC done for Miracle. But they have only got that 1 life.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, Naga is not that scary as a fighting carry. She's only scary for the ability to push out all the lanes and even set up the team fights with the song. Her actual right-clicking damage with the illusions, all that is kind of just tickling a Dragon Knight who's got 40+ armor. He's got AoE damage to clear out the illusion. If you try and swarm the DK with illusions, he'll clear them all out instantly. So Naga's biggest threat is really her ability to maintain lane control and split the illusions. When they're grouped up in a team fight, if you're trying to focus one hero, they're doing absolutely nothing. Jug, similar story. He's got very high armor, hasn't got any kind of AoE damage like a Battle Fury, but doesn't really need it. He's doing just fine without it. This game is looking a whole lot better for Liquid the last 5 minutes or so.
Absolutely, as you said, they have proven that with the time that they've been given and the time that they've decided to take, and farming up the items they have, they can stand toe-to-toe against MP in a team fight. And I mean, you know, if Liquid can pull this through and take the win against Aui's Naga, I'm going to be incredibly impressed. I'm sure a lot of people at home will be as well, to just see if Liquid can deal with this style of play that MP have proven to be so strong with.
And it's just going to reach this point where Aui's just struggling because there's no real more items for him to pick up. There's like a Moon Shard, but what does that really do for your hero? There's no point having the Butterfly. He's already replaced this. He didn't actually buy it in the end. I think he just had the Talisman of Evasion, but he saw the double MKB and was like, nope, not worth. Let's get a hard instead. But your illusions just don't do all that much damage. You haven't really got any agi coming out from any of your items apart from a bit from the Manta and the Diffusal. There's no Butterfly, no Skadi. I mean, it's just not enough agi on the illusions to really pack a punch, and With the tanky frontline cores on the Radiant side, they're sitting pretty right now. Liquid not looking for a fight again. They're probably recognizing like fighting was their undoing. That was where they kind of threw away their big advantage they had earlier. So just keep farming. They don't have buybacks. At least wait till you have buybacks across the board before trying to take a fight. But they do have to worry about NP coming to them.
Ooh.
There's a ward there. He's been spotted.
Hello. Goodbye. He is not getting himself out of this one. He does have buyback available there.
Yep.
So if he is required, he will return.
Envy's keeping bottom. Need to be a bit careful about this. Envy's iron progression has slowed down a lot. He got the travels. No point buying a butterfly. Similar story with the Naga. It's just not worth it against the double MKBs. And there we go. Naga's buying wards, tombs, whatever the team needs. Yeah, curious to see what Envy can get out of this as far as his item progression goes. He might consider going for some kind of ethereal blade against the Dragon Knight Jug, but again, they've got BKBs, potential magic immunity from a Blade Fury. Even Shadow Shaman has a BKB. They feel like he needs to go. They don't actually have good late game physical damage, which is a big concern for NP. Naga is just not that kind of a late game carry. Does not match up to the physical damage of a Jug or a DK.
I mean, can she swap out some of the items such as it goes on? Is there more optimal kind of final build that she can build towards?
There's more optimal fighting items.
Yeah.
Which would be like probably Skadi, Butterfly, Abyssal. Even against the MTBs, Butterfly is still good agi. Oh, that's a big kill.
Yeah, Miracle jumps in.
Been caught.
And this man does not have buyback gold.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, NP are going to think he has buyback gold. There is no way you get that kill and think, let's go push. DK has no buyback, guys. You are anticipating a buyback. It's just a matter of how cautious they are with their push because of that. Because the threat of a buyback can sometimes be very scary when you're pushing.
Can they hold? 4 men on the side of Liquid.
Kuro's going rat Dota. He's pushing out this bottom lane, looking for that last Rax.
That's a hard push for him on his own.
I believe that was the, was that Moonshot I heard? No.
It seems to be working though. I mean, they're keeping MP a little hesitant about how they push in. I think as you said, you know, MP, they're assuming that DK does have buyback.
Yeah.
But they would surely want to try and force it out. I mean, they're actually not going to do so. They're backing off.
It goes back to that. The idea of forcing it out is not the easy. Oh. Okay, Kuro didn't manage to kill that creep.
Hey, it's going to be fine, I'm sure. The Dukes are not quite there.
He's a bit unlucky. His Ether Shock didn't hit the creep they TP to. I think NP actually saw him use the Ether Shock and there was a full HP creep, so they're like, oh sweet, we can TP to this full HP creep. But again, to go back to the question about forcing out the DK buyback, is it's very difficult to do that in a way that's safe. Like if he does have buyback there and you try force out his buyback by committing to a Rax, if you get roared, the ideal way to defend high ground is you roar a hero, DK buys back as you roar, and that hero, like you TP in on that roared hero, he dies, there's a roar in the second hero, DK has ultimate, he kills that second, third hero, and suddenly you've been team wiped by a DK buyback. So forcing a DK buyback is very difficult to do without exposing yourself there. So NP not having the kind of knowledge that all of us have about the Dragon Knight's buyback, if anything, DK not having buyback there is like a complete shock. Like that to me is a bit, I mean, there's no, NP would probably, if they were asked like NP, like what's the likelihood that DK had buyback there, he would be like 99% DK had buyback. That was like the 1 in 100 that he didn't.
NP looking to get ready to go down bottom, maybe. I mean, again, they're pushing the wave in.
Yep.
They have just picked up this Shadow Blade on Envy, which was the option for one of the late game pickups. I mean, why necessarily go for this one?
Late game mobility. Shadow Blade kind of become better in the ultra late game where, yeah, there's maybe a gem available, but you've got to split the map up. So a hero, 6-slotted heroes can't carry gems and detection. So if there's like a DK or a Jug who's pushing a lane up by himself, you can kind of Shadow Blade around very safely around them, knowing they're not going to have detection for you. And it's the supports who have room in their inventory, and the supports die very early in the fights. Oracle's got a gem, but Bulba's not going to stay alive very long in the fight if he's not careful, and his position is always very far in the back. He's got a Blink Dagger, so he wants to be as far back as possible, use that Blink to get himself in a good position for a false promise, but that means he's unlikely going to be in the right spot to actually scout out like a Shadow Blade initiation, and again, it's just like a pesky rat kind of item. You can split push, you can just be really annoying with it, it makes him that little bit harder to gank. Yeah, he's got Moonlight Shadow, but it's just an annoying item to deal with in the late game because no one's really got item slots.
We're going to see Liquid go for a smoke. But at the same time, Matuma is the bait. He's going to be jumped on. I mean, can they actually do anything to save him? No, dragged away, he's gone. Bulba's going to get an arrow to the backside, and Bulba's gone as well, 2 down. Matuma does have buyback, but MP coming in, surrounding Miracle. Is he going to get a backup he needs? Post the BKB, in comes Mind Control, ready to go. A little SVG, but there's a disruption by the Undying some time. He'll still go down. MV trapped initially in the woods, will be forced out. They're backing away. The second coming in onto Owie. Owie's down. And buyback immediately, but Tummerman's looking to chase for more. He wants to try and find Envy. Can he actually get this though? 10 seconds, and then Shadowblade and Leap's going to be back up. MV is going to be jumped on again in a second by Matuma. Here we go, jumping in, Shadowblade's there, and the Leap as well. Envy's going to be safe for the time being, but Aoi of course has had to buy back. The question is if Liquid can do anything off the back of that.
So did Matu though, so both carries having to buy back. It ended up being almost like a mirrored trade there, where both carries had to buy back, both teams lost to support, the Oracle and the Undying. Small edge for Liquid if they get the Roshan here.
It would be, I mean, it would be pretty big in the sense that it...
Like, I don't know who's grabbing the Aegis even. Beastmaster.
Sure, you want to give it to Matu. Oh, but here we go. The Aglasso, Matu, and Miracle dragged up. What a play. The 2 cores taken down. And MP again finding the big pickoffs when it counts. Kuroki's going to drop as well.
That call to go Roche getting punished. That TP into the Ag's lasso was styling. Well then.
I mean, we'll see what they can get done here. Miracle does have buyback. Kuroki, he's short a fair bit of dollar for his, so he won't be coming back.
I mean, I doubted the viability of how good an Ag's spat would be. I've been truly proven wrong with some of these.
I mean, late game, just having the lockdown onto 2 heroes like that, especially when it's Miracle and Matuma.
Yeah. That's the dream, getting them in the Roche pit like that. They know there's no jug.
Oh, Mind Control actually going for a bit of a sidestep. Gets the Royale to Roche, but he's going to be focused and Mind Control's out. He's gone. He does have buyback. Just looking to stall the push of MP. Move it onto Bulba. Miracle goes for the Dragon Tail onto Envy. Envy stuck in the tower. Will be healed. Don't get the chance of the BKB, but again, the lasso onto 2. Dragging Miracle and Mind Control in. Aoi looks to surround them. And MP now takes the Beastmaster kill as a die back on Mind Control. Miracle to fall as well. And MP, they're going for the win. They're going for the tier 4s. They're looking to finally end this one up. And indeed, we've had some long ones here. We really have. Look, this one not quite the longest, but it's enough one to add to the collection. Matuma going to be back up in 10 seconds. We'll see if Matuma can do anything spectacular on his own, but they're losing tier 4s. He will have the backup of Bulba, but the Ancient is exposed and GG is called. You've got to admit that Liquid gave it their all with a plan against the Aoi Naga, but at the end of the day, it's the